Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Zach, and I am Gemma.
I am still here, and I am James.
Yay! We've left those little Irish ones in the cupboard. Yeah. You remember the cupboard that James used to have to live in?
Yeah.
Well, they are in there, and I hope they don't mind fish heads. So...
Yeah, I've got up the totem pole, so they get the cupboard now.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely like Harry Potter in the Codswallop world. James has got a small box room now.
Yeah. Ah, yes. The violence that is Harry Potter. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I digress.
But it is close in reference, so we have to use it. Sorry,
We
James.
do. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
I mean, I can't tell you how big and luxurious my room is.
Yes, yeah.
It's amazing.
The scariest thing for me is that I am just surrounded by gingers. So...
Well, I think one day you're going to realise that you're a ginger too, James.
No, I have a soul. So, my soul is safe and healthy.
Yeah. You're the one with the least soul, you bastard.
Yeah, but maybe that's why I have you all around me to try and save your souls.
What's your Jesus, are you?
Well, you said that, not me.
Well, I said it with a question mark and then a laugh after, so I don't know if one of us was actually joking, but there you go.
Don't be such a doubter. I have long hair and a beard.
Well, you do look a bit like Jesus at the moment, I have to say. But then during lockdown, so do I.
Yes, 'tis a mighty beard, Gemma.
Thank you. I can't wait for the beauty salons to open up again.
Hey, I'm sure you don't need it, but all will be well. All will be well.
Yes.
We'll get there in the end, 2037.
Yeah, definitely. Be touching the floor by then, James.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how have you been over the last couple of weeks?
I think I've been all right. I've had a couple of days off here and there, so that's nice. The weather has finally improved, which I think helps everybody's mood go up a little bit. But yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I intend to go out for another long walk because the sun is actually out today.
Yep.
Yeah, I think across the country we've actually got reasonably good weather. So yeah, not bad. But more importantly, how have you been?
Yes, well, firstly, weather-wise, yes, it's gorgeous today. I've actually been walking around in a vest top with obviously trousers on as well, but, without a jacket today. So It's actually been, although it's a bit nippy, it's still a gorgeous day. So, I just wanted to give a weather update before I went into my update. With regards to me, obviously, as the tadpoles and yourself know, more than the tadpoles know, but I had to have a very, very large abscess removed from I keep saying armpit, but it's not physically my armpit, it's like the bit of arm just before it sort of thing.
Okay,
so it's the bingo wings, so to speak.
Okay.
And it was causing me so much discomfort. I was like crying every night, and I'm not a tearful, weepy kind of girl. Unless something is really, really sad, but I was in so much pain with this and I couldn't sleep at night. I was literally getting maximum 3 hours. So I was probably doing about your scheduling of sleeping, James.
Sounds like you had a good sleep, actually, by my standards.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair dues. But it was just causing me no end of pain, no end of discomfort and pain and stuff. And I went to the doctor about it, and they gave me antibiotics to take for a couple of days. But in the end, anyway, I went back to the doctor because after a couple of days of being on the antibiotics, if they were working, then that's when she wanted to reassess me again. Mm-hmm. It was decided then, especially when I was sort of bursting into tears and saying, look, I need to get something done about this right now, that I had to go and have the operation to have it removed. Yeah, so then on the following day, which was I think Thursday, had to go to the hospital, and I was on nil by mouth as well.
Like proper surgery then, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did, because I wasn't sure, because the doctor who gave me the information, booked it all in and whatnot, she's not my normal doctor, and she was a bit of a flapper, because she was running late, so she didn't really give me the full information. I wasn't sure if it was going to just be a local anaesthetic or if it was, what it was. It turned out it was a general anaesthetic. So I got there, my appointment was at 8:00 and I got there at 8:45. And the eating part wasn't really a big deal for me. To be honest, even though I'm the size I am, I can go without food. It's no issue. But the not drinking, that was so hard for me.
Yeah, that isn't fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Also being a diabetic as well, we tend to always get quite dry throats, but then also adding it to like wearing the mask, I was just like, oh my God, this is, it was like I had sandpaper for a mouth instead of anything else.
Yeah.
So at one point I had to sort of beg them and say, look, can I just even have a drop of water? Just something to kind of help. And they gave it to me, to be fair. So, they weren't expecting me, which was fun.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because the surgeon had booked it in. But he failed to tell the nursing staff that I was coming in, so that was good. But all in all, I can't falter any of the people who looked after me. Everyone was so amazing, and has been continued since. Like everybody, like massive claps and a round of applause for the NHS staff, because having to sort of watch them as they were, they had the PPE that they've got to wear and stuff. Mm-hmm. They had this like plastic overall. So it was like an apron type thing. Every single time that they went in to see a patient, they had to cover themselves. Mm-hmm. And then they had to take it off and throw it away. And then it was like, then if they went into another room, they had to put another one on. And it's just the attention to detail, but also in my brain, I was sort of like, ooh, that's a lot of plastic to be thrown away. But, I also understand that they have to do that. It's a necessary thing. So, I'm not having to dig at them for doing that, but they just went through so much. It was like the bin was empty when I first got there. It was practically full when I left, And
what's the general sort of plan from now on then? Because they've obviously done the required work.
Well, basically, what they have to do now is follow up. Is every single day I have to go into the surgery because, again, being diabetic, I don't heal very well.
Right.
I've got what I consider a massive hole, but I sent a picture to James and he said he's seen bigger. So
yeah, seen worse.
But they have to pack the wound. And because it's healing from the inside out. Mm-hmm. So they're packing the wound and then they're covering it over with like a sort of a plaster, but obviously a bigger size plaster, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, every day I'm doing that. And that is quite sore when they're taking that off and they're packing it in. Oh, it's horrible, but it's a necessary evil. And even though it's discomfort and painful, it's nowhere near as painful as the aCYST was before.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be anything that sort of, solves the problem is, as annoying as it is, I guess is a good thing. So
I just feel so sorry for all the nurses because they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I was like, "No, don't worry," I'm just being pretty laid back about it all, kind of thing.
Good.
It's just like, no, don't worry about it.
Good.
And the nurse today goes, oh, this last bit's probably going to be the bit that hurts the most. And she took it off and it didn't hurt at all. And I said, well, actually, that was the least painful part.
That's strange.
Yeah. So, yeah, managed to have a shower yesterday, which was lovely. But because I'm not to get it wet. Yeah, I had to use cling film and cling film my arm up. So
a bit like when you have a tattoo, I guess.
Well, with tattoos, I suppose because what they do now, they actually cover over the tattoo with a cling film type plaster thing that they do anyway. So I suppose in a way, but with tattoos, it's different. You normally can get tattoos wet; then they're not an issue, really.
Well, I will keep everything crossed that everything goes okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm booked in for an entire week of this packing and recovering malarkey. But I mean, there's a lot more people that are going through a lot more worse stuff than this, but yeah, it's definitely to explain why I was absent, because I'd wish, like you said at the beginning of last week's episode, that I wish I'd been there with the new girls, but that was the evening before I was having the operation, and I was just in no fit way. I wouldn't have been myself at all. I would have brought the episode down completely if I'd been there, and I was also in so much pain that, so it was a good call, and I'm really glad that you guys did that as well, because it was a brilliant episode. So
indeed it was. I mean, and let's be honest, if you'd been on, the screaming would have been very off-putting.
Yes.
For the the Salty Tadpoles.
Yeah, it was getting to the point that every time I moved my arm any which way, I was like literally squealing at the top of my voice, it was so painful. So, but yeah, I lived to tell the tale.
Damn right.
And the anaesthetic gave me really, really sexy blue eyes. So.
What?
Well, they're normally blue, but because like basically like anaesthetic sort of made my eyes even bluer.
I've never heard of that happening before, that it changes eye colour. That's interesting.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, it didn't change my eye colour because my eyes are blue anyway, but it just made it a different shade of blue. But also I get that when I'm not well as well.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I've not heard of that before, so.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Any anaesthesiologists out there want to tell us why?
Well, I mean, yeah, there might be. But either way, I love the shade of blue. So in some ways, I quite like being ill because I get the really, really pretty blue eyes.
So, well, they do say every cloud has a silver lining, so.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, other than all of the staff being amazing and whatnot, and that, I was just making them all laugh really while I was there, because that's just my character, isn't it? To make people laugh. So yeah, we were having a bit of a giggle. Sort of announced myself when I was in the room, when I was wheeled down to surgery. I was like, everybody, I'm here. And they all laughed.
Was it very busy in there?
They were really busy. There was one point though that was horrible, because I had to sit in the waiting, because at some point I was on the bed, and then other points I was sort of sat in the waiting room. And when I was sat in the waiting room, they came out and they said, oh, did anybody, apart from me, obviously, want a cup of tea? And so they were all these other patients were sort of sat there, who'd had their surgery, or they weren't there for surgery or whatever. And they were going, oh, this is a lovely cup of tea. I was just sitting there like seething through my mask, going.
Through your mouth.
Just felt like going, fuck off, you assholes.
It's not their fault, Gemma. It's not their fault.
It is. It's not their fault, but they didn't have to react, Have a little bit of consideration.
Well, you've lived to tell the tale, as you said, so.
Yeah, so anyway, enough about me, James. Have you got any Codswallop this week?
Not that I can think of, I'm afraid. I must be a far more pleasant individual than I. Yeah, I honestly cannot think of any Codswallop. Nothing's got my goat this week, so I think I'm doing okay. I think something will probably pop into my head at some point, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, lucky for you, I have got Codswallop this week, and it's unrelated to my story previously, so that's good.
Doesn't surprise me. Fire away.
Well, something's pissed me off.
Yeah.
Well, it's a couple of things, actually. as always. So, first things first. Basically, it was my lunch break and I decided that I was going to go out for a little walk. Obviously, this was during work hours, so I was only half an hour because I had to get back for work because lunch break is an hour. I went to this car park. Nobody's really going to know where I'm talking about, but there's this place called the Noth Gardens, which it's really sort of peaceful, nice area to sort of walk around. And there's a place called the No Fort there, which is they advertise. They've got it's like an exhibition type thing, but it's like historically telling you the story of, like, I think it's World War I or World War II. Can't remember which one exactly. Anyway. So that's by the by, but that's the area that we're talking about. And it's, you know, you can see the sea, open fields. It's lovely to walk around. So that's not my Codswallop. My Codswallop is that I parked in the car park and it was one of those private eye car parks. So they've got, I think it's called private eye, that they've got the little cameras that take a photo of you going in and going out.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So went in there. Parked out for half hour, paid for an hour's parking, because that was the only option. But I was like, well, don't matter, pay for it. A few days later, I was at home and whatnot, and I received in the post that I had a 60 quid fine for parking in that car park, even though I brought a parking ticket. I was like,
dear.
You fucking what? It was 60 quid if I paid within the 14 days, or 100 quid if I paid outside of that, which is extortionate and disgusting at the best of times. But I didn't realise about it being the parking eye or whatever they're called. But the fact that I brought a ticket, and of course I didn't have the ticket anymore, because who thinks to keep hold of the ticket? I usually just throw it away in my car and then I clear my car out, kind of thing. And, yeah, so went ahead. I brought my pound ticket for the half hour that I needed, and then they sent through this bloody letter. I have appealed it, so I'm not at this point having to pay it. I've appealed it, but still, it's just the fact that you've brought a ticket,
It's a strange one.
It's really frustrating.
It does seem strange.
Yeah, but then also I Googled it as well because I was trying to work out where it was because it only gives you a postcode. So I looked up the postcode and I sort of was Googling the area, eventually worked out which one it was and whatnot. But then there was also under TripAdvisor, there was a lot of people that had written comments saying never park in this, because they'd all had the same experience. Mm-hmm. But these people had to pay the fine. So I'm still waiting to find out if I have to pay it or whatever. But yeah, it's like 60 quid for nothing. You know what I mean? So that really, really pissed me off.
Well, I hope you get it resolved. I think you've done the right thing by challenging it, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They said, obviously, that, in the next few days, I probably should get a response as to whether that has been cleared or whatever, but I ain't taking that shit, James.
Well, one of the tricks I once heard that I know somebody employed when they were someone tried to find them for actually parking in the wrong bay, is you appeal it at the last possible minute, because it creates more problem, or close to the last possible time you can, for safety, because it creates more problems for the parking company. In the end, that they just go, oh, sod it.
Ooh, that's a good tip. Next time, if this happens again then, James, I'll do that. That's a good idea. Thank you. This time I appealed it straight away.
Yeah, make sure that you give yourself time, so it doesn't sort of hit them afterwards. They can say they've not received it. But I think when my friend did it like recorded delivery and everything, he went the whole extra mile to get them.
Well, that's good. I mean, I did mine online, so it was like an instant appeal. Oh, it was so bloody annoying. So if anyone's ever come into Weymouth and they're looking for somewhere to park, please contact me. And this is serious. Please contact me so I can tell you which one not to park in.
Yes. I was going to say that is a beneficial thing to not park.
Yeah, definitely. So, fuck Weymouth and Portland Council. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. I don't think it's even the council, to be honest. Well, anyway, whoever it is.
You'll get there. You will get there. It'll be fine. Power on.
Yeah.
Power through.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. It will. So, if not, next week's Codswallop would be, had to pay the fucking 60 quid. And my other Codswallop as well, which is in comparison isn't as Codswallopy, to be honest, but
Okay.
when you're pulling into a petrol station which has got pavement across it.
Sound like a bit of a weird petrol station, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So like, there's a little pavement in front, and then so you're pulling across the pavement, basically. Yeah. It's a weird one because it's straight after a set of traffic lights, but, you have to sort of turn left to go into the petrol station. And there was this, in normal circumstances, lovely old couple who were clearly not paying attention.
Damn old people.
Yeah, they started walking across the pavement part that I needed to pull in. So I'm holding up so much traffic for a good couple of minutes. But not minutes. It felt like minutes, but it was seconds probably. But, at least 30 seconds. But you're still holding up a load of people. And, this two lovely dithery old couple slowly walking past, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, Gemma, you missed an opportunity. Imagine the points you would have scored.
I know. I can't kill a person. I can't kill a person, an animal, but unless that person's done bad.
Or works for the council, the car parking people.
Yeah, I probably could kill them.
It's game over for them.
The rage that I have. And this was last week, so, the rage has continued. Those are my Codswallop. So the second one isn't a major Codswallop because pedestrians have right of way as well, but sometimes they need to realise that cars are on the road and that they need to pull in places. But number one, that was my biggest Codswallop this week.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, I echo what I said. Fuck them! Fuck them all!
Dear, dear. Dear, dear. Well, you should also name and shame them on Twitter.
I will. If it gets solved, or if it gets that I have to pay the 60 quid, one of the two, I'll name and shame them. But, not while they're assessing it though. I don't want to cause any problems just in case I get it off.
Well, I shall keep my fingers crossed on this one as well.
Thank you. That's what I need. Fingers, toes and eyes.
Yeah, that'll make moving difficult for me, but I'll still do it.
Right, well, that's obviously our Codswallop's done.
Well, it's your Codswallop's done.
Yeah, it's my Codswallop's done. Yeah, good point. James, I think you need to get a bit more pissed off with things.
That's Gemma's rage.
I'd like to thank you for your Codswallop last week as well, though. It was a bit kiss-assy, but...
Hey, it was the honest truth. I mean, it was slightly vomit-induced even for me, but it was the truth.
Yeah, and when you referred to me as your friend, I was like... Oh.
Well, to be fair, I'd had a few drinks. So
thought that might be the case.
So I was a bit confused.
Yeah. It did also make me laugh when Joanne, shouted out the name of the title, which was Two Girls and One James.
Yeah.
But then said minus the shit or minus the poo. And I was like, hold on, is she meaning me? First when I heard it.
I
was
never
like,
thought of it that way.
Is she calling me the poo?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. So, John, when you listen to this, were you referring to Gemma? If so, bit harsh.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. But I still laughed. So, because I figured that's probably not what she meant at all.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, me too. Boys, get off, love. Talk to the hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such harshness.
But it did sound like you had lots of fun. So what I've decided to do is I've also, for probably next week's episode, I'm going to sit down next week and actually record with Joanne and Gabrielle. Because the three of us, we don't know each other fantastically well, but we know each other enough, if you know what I mean. So it would be quite nice to actually do an episode with just the three of us to get to know each other again and have a bit of a giggle. And I think we're going to play Reverse That Tune as well, James.
Okay, it'll also be terrifying. It'll be an all ginger edition.
Yep. Well, that might be the episode title. You never know, if I remember.
The horror, the fear, the soullessness.
The horror, the fear. Oh, you love it. Gingers are great. They're amazing. And I love the fact that I keep referring to myself as a ginger, even though I've got the darkest brown hair in the world at the moment.
For my own safety, yes, gingers are wonderful.
Although I say that I've got the darkest brown hair at the moment, but I have to say that there's quite a few weird silver streaks going through it. I don't quite know what's going on, James.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a clue. Maybe, makes no sense. No idea.
No.
Some sort of strange thing must have happened. Must be the medication. Yeah, medication.
Yeah. The shock. Yeah.
Yes, the shock, yes. I'm sure they will, these strange colours will vanish.
I'm sure. As soon as my mum gets the box dye, it'll be fine. James, have you been watching anything recently?
I thought you said I've been dyeing my hair. No. No, I haven't been dyeing my hair. What have I been watching? Well, I have been watching WandaVision.
Yep.
But we will be discussing that at some point in the future.
Yes.
But that's just so bloody weird and enjoyable. I have watched In Search of Darkness Parts 1 and 2, which is a 1980s horror documentary, all about 1980s horror, which I've really enjoyed.
Oh, where can you find that?
I'll pass you the details on after this.
Right, so illegal. Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to give up 8 hours of your time, though, to watch it. So, because it's 4 hours a piece.
No, but that sounds really good. What's it about and whatnot?
It sort of basically goes through 1980 and hits the 1980 to obviously 1989 and hits the highlights of horror films throughout the year. And it has people who've been involved in the films and actors and makers of the films. It's just very interesting stuff to watch. And I just find it interesting. I love 80s stuff and I love horror films.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So yeah, I heartily recommend it.
I'll have to check that out as well. I mean, you said you're going to send me the link and whatnot anyway, but yeah, I have to check that out because I also like horror. So, and, quite like the 80s. So, I mean, I was born then, so why wouldn't I like it?
Exactly. Yeah. Just other stuff I've been diving into, just bits of sort of TV and things. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've watched, really, I'd say, is stuff. I've heard the Rebooting Frasier, which I'm going to be interesting to see how that goes. 'Cause I do really like Frasier, so I'll be interested to see if that is any good and if it does actually happen or not.
Yeah, I mean, that would be good, but it is a bit sad because the dad's dead now and so the dog. So those were my favourite characters, but
No John Mahoney, no Moose Jr.
Yeah.
Integral part of the show gone.
I know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't dislike Frasier. I've never watched all of them, but I liked the ones that I've seen. They've always been quite funny, so that should be good. I suppose that means that hopefully Kevin Smith will bring back his podcast as well. Was it Talk Salad and something?
Yep, Talk Salad and Scrambled Egg. When I found out they were rebooting it, I actually sent a tweet to Kelsey Grammer and to Kevin Smith about it.
Oh, yeah?
And neither of them got back to me, the bastards. So,
really?
Yeah. Not even a like. I mean, Kevin will like just about anything. But you didn't like that?
Oh, I mean, Kevin's renowned for liking everything, so God, poor James.
I've had him like my stuff and respond to my stuff in the past, so why not this?
Yeah, exactly.
I used to love listening to Talk Salad and Scrambled Egg. It was always just, something I enjoyed listening to, but alas, I'm sure he has bigger fish to fry at the moment. He's probably got some sort of... Has he finished that In Search of something horror film he's done? Maybe he's finished that in the middle of doing it, so...
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about, so...
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but he has got a horror film that he's made that will be coming out. It's him... I don't know if he's going to be in it, but I know his daughter's in it, Ralph is in it, probably Jay is in it.
Yeah.
But it's some sort of like strange quasi-horror comedy thing. But as I really like what he did with Tusk, I would love to see him do a straight horror film.
Yeah.
I think he really could do a just no comedy, full-on horror film really well. So
yeah, I think, and also it would be another string to his bow, so to speak, as well, wouldn't it? But I don't know if all of the audience would agree because there's a lot of people that don't like it when he sort of swerves off, like Jersey Girl, for example. There's a lot of people that don't like that film, which is absolutely my favourite Kevin Smith film, to be honest. But, but still, I mean, there's always going to be a market for something and there's always going to be people that don't like it. So,
I mean, You are right on him swerving off doing other things, but he does do all this, he does the superhero TV stuff, so he clearly can do other things without a problem. But I do think the actual just sort of like horror elements he did of Tusk show that he could easily do a full-on horror film, I think, without any problem, produce a good film.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't Moose Jaws, was it?
No, it's something completely different to that.
Okay.
I just
We've been
can't
waiting for that one for years, haven't we? So
yeah, whether I don't know whether Moose Jaws will happen or not, but you never know.
Yeah. Maybe after the feedback from Tusk, he just decided to drop that. I don't know. I don't know if Tusk was actually ever reviewed as as a good film or not in the eyes of the watchers or whatever. But, personally, I'm with you. I really enjoyed that film.
I did.
So.
I thought it was very good. It was weird as hell. Yeah. But I really did enjoy it. Thought it was a good film. But of course, he's also, I suspect one of the reasons I'm not hearing Jack from him, I know I'm not important to him, but he's of course probably working on Masters of the Universe still at the moment as well.
Exactly. Yeah, with Mark Bernardin, isn't it? So
the film I'm thinking of is Kilroy Was Here.
Oh, right. Okay. I've absolutely heard nothing about this, so I've obviously not been paying attention.
Clearly not.
So, no.
And also, looking at his list of stuff, it doesn't look like he's doing Moose Jaws. It's not listed anymore. So.
Oh, well, hopefully he does. I hope so, because it'll be nice to sort of finish off the Great Northwest. Northwest, is it? The Canada.
The frozen north sort of thing. But we do know that Clerks 3 is on the books, so that's a positive.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. With regards to me, I've been watching, obviously, WandaVision. Like James said, when it's all over, we're all going to sit down and we're going to review the TV programs, TV episodes all through. Didn't want to do it beforehand because if anybody who hasn't seen it, I didn't want to spoil anything because it is so weird and so wacky that, to be honest, a lot of it's going over the top of my head because I thought that I knew a lot of Marvel stuff, but I'm realizing that I didn't know quite as much as I thought I did. So, which is, it's quite a fun experience for me in some ways because it was, it's kind of opened my eyes to new things. So I need to sit down and maybe read something, or probably won't read it. Let's face it, I don't read, but watch something else and whatnot. So, but yeah. And the other thing that I've been watching is, I've been rewatching all of the American Horror Stories as well, which James, you really, really need to watch. They're so good. Yeah,
I recognise that I will probably enjoy them. I do need to get myself together and actually have a look for them.
Yeah. The one thing that's, I suppose, a little bit annoying about the way that Netflix has laid it out is that it works. So obviously you've got the different seasons. Obviously you've got the different series. And obviously but what they've done is they've put series 1 at the bottom, then series 2, series 3, series 4, series 5, and so forth. And I can't remember exactly how many series there are. I think it's probably 7 or 8 at this point, but I also could be wrong with that. But the problem is that, so the way that they've put them on, this is almost like another Codswallop for me. So you got series 1 at the bottom, so you go through all of that. But then when you go to watch the next series that's available, and normally it would follow on, wouldn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But with this, what you have to do is you have to sort of jump out of it slightly, go over to the named series, each series, and then you have to move across to go to the second series. But then if you watch the second series and that one's finished, it then goes on to the beginning episode of series 1. So it's like, oh, for God's sake.
This does sound a tad annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it is a little bit, but yeah, at the same time, I mean, it's no big deal. I can kind of deal with it. It's not an issue. It is one of those little things that it's like, couldn't you have just put series 1 at the top instead of putting it the other way around?
I mean, it is annoying, but it's also definite first world problems.
Yeah. What I like about it is that they keep a lot of the same actors and actresses, or I think you're technically supposed to call them actors now, as whether they're female or male, aren't you? So that's nice. You can see all that thing. But there's also a few little crossover parts as well.
Okay, yeah.
So with one episode that I've just watched, one of the characters is put into a mental institute.
Right.
And like, I'm kind of keeping it very subtle because I don't, want to kind of ruin it or whatever. But then the previous series, or the previous series before that, I think, you've actually got the whole episodes about this mental institute.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like you can see where that character has been introduced to it, but it's like 2 series on, if that makes sense.
Right, I see, yeah.
Does that make sense or not really?
It does, no, I can understand, I grasp what you mean, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's, interesting.
Yeah, there's some that I really, really like, and I've already watched a couple that I've really, really enjoyed. There are a couple that are my kind of least favourite ones, but I still watch them and rewatch them and whatnot, because, they're all fantastic, but there are some that are just not quite as good as, the others.
So it sometimes becomes a little bit addictive that you've got to, as bad as things are. You'll find out some episodes, like I found with WandaVision, there are some episodes that I've found that I've enjoyed more than others, but you still want to get through it. Because I like watching things like The Connors. It has up and down episodes, but generally, I'll sit and properly watch stuff where I can. So yeah, it's just whatever I can basically see and watch that I'll enjoy. But like in life, the rough and the smooth. So
yeah, indeed. Because you saying that with WandaVision, in a way, with that, I enjoyed the first 3 episodes a lot more than I do the ones that I'm watching, which I still really, really enjoy. Yeah. But I enjoyed those 3 first ones because it was my imagination trying to work out what was actually going on. Yes,
very true. Very, very true.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move off that topic now because we're both dying to talk about it, but we really don't want to spoil it for anybody. So.
Who am I? Where am I? Yeah.
But that does bring us on to a good segue.
Okay.
Onto our topic of the week. So, if you're ready, James.
As ready as I'll ever be.
I asked this week, keeping with the theme of Fly It to the Moon, what film would you like us to catapult us? I've written it completely wrong. What film would you like us to catapult to the moon this week? So, James, ideally not Catwoman, if that's okay.
Nope, that's fine. Mutant Chronicles.
Okay, I've not heard of that.
You're blessed to have not heard of it.
Okay.
You would also be blessed to have not ever seen it. It came out in 2008. To cut a long story short, the girl I was going out with, it was her brother and her brother-in-law wanted to go to the cinema so we could all bond a bit. And we went to go and see the Mutant Chronicles. And I think for them, there's a lot more weight to it because it was based on a video game.
Okay.
And it was almost like it was trying to be a bit Sin City because I think a lot of it was filmed against computer-generated backgrounds. And it has a good cast. Ron Perlman's in it. Thomas Jane is in it. It probably should have worked. Devon Aoki's in it and Sean Pertwee's even in it. In fact, looking at it, I'm having to look at something now to tell me who's in it because I can remember it's so little of it. John Malkovich is in it.
Wow.
I kid you not. I nearly fell asleep.
Oh, no.
It's the only time I've seen a film where I literally been close to falling asleep because it was so incredibly boring.
I hate films like that, especially when you've gone to see it at the cinema as well because you've paid good money to see it.
Yeah.
It's like, can I have my money back? Because that was shite.
So all I can really remember is it was some sort of weird, almost like steampunk future. And again, it will probably mean a lot. It was a game it was a role-playing game, I think, originally. But yeah, I was not the audience for it, clearly, and I don't think it did particularly well at the box office. Well, they've never made a Mutant Chronicles 2. Let me put it that way. So,
No. No, that's fair enough. I think, well, there you go. That one's the first one in the shuttle pod. There we go. I got it right the third time. So that's the first film in there. So my one, because I thought long and hard about this, because although I posted it only yesterday, but I was kind of racking my brains at one point because I was just like, well, I don't want to do a stereotypical one or whatever, but the one that I've picked is a film called White Chicks. Have you ever seen that film?
Only once and a long, long, long time ago. Or what feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, which I understand, the whole... it's almost like I don't know how to tackle this subject because it's...
I can tackle it for you.
Yeah, it's not a PC one, so I think I'm just going to have to say it and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And know that I don't mean this in any way, in a racial way or in an insulting way or anything like that. But I understand that you can't do blackface when you're a white person. But why is it acceptable, first of all, for two men, black men, to dress up as women, white women?
Can't answer that question for you. I was thinking the same thing. Because the film Soul Man from years ago with C. Thomas Howell, where he plays a black guy.
Yeah.
Pretty much sort of does blackface, but with tanning pills or something. He's really like frowned upon now. You can still see, but it's really frowned upon. And I do ask the same question about white chicks. To me, there's a real double standard there.
Yeah.
So it just, I'm sure we'll be pilloried for it, but yeah, there does seem to be a bit of a double standard to it.
Yeah, at least we're on the same page though, James, so at least we'll go down together.
Yeah, true. In flames.
And again, neither of us mean that in a, like a negative way, because neither of us, like in a way, neither of us see colour. We just see human, don't we? So
I hate everybody, so, there's no racism at all with me.
And I love everybody, so we equal each other out. But no, and also, not just that aspect, but also just the film is utter shite. It never made me laugh once. My friend was like, oh my God, this is the funniest film that you're ever going to watch. And I sat there and I was like, really? It was more my reaction to the film that made me laugh, because I thought it was utter bollocks. So that one can go in. That one's going into the moon. Okay.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, we'll blow those films up. So answers that we got this week was Beach Anderson says, any movie that doesn't have Bruce Campbell in it. My explanation is in my answer. So that's good. And Ellie Bibby says, this was a very difficult question to answer, which I said to her, yeah, I know, because I found it a bit hard as well. I had to think long and hard about it, but the new Mummy movie with Tom Cruise in it. I love the original with Rachel Weisz. Yes, I know it's cheesy, but I love it. I just can't show the same love for this movie, which is all very valid. So she wants the new version of the Mummy to go in.
Well, technically, the Rachel Weisz version with Brendan Fraser was a remake, so it's... But yeah, I don't know what she means, the most recent one. It's a shame. Yeah. It just didn't work. And it buggered up the whole Universal Dark film plans. So yeah, it just was not a great film.
No, it wasn't at all. I say that actually. I just said it wasn't at all. I've not actually watched it, so I don't know. But I've heard a lot of people say that it wasn't at all. So I if you hear a lot of people say something, I just think, why would I watch it then? I mean, yeah, I might have a different opinion, but it seems silly. So next person says, this is from James Higson, and he says, Twilight, any of them, preferably all of them.
Yeah, I saw the first one. Yeah, that was enough.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was awful.
Oh, James has just tweeted. Yeah. What is James tweeting? I'm looking at my phone right now, yeah? Wait, why are you looking at your phone?
Yeah, because why shouldn't I?
Well, because I'm looking at it because of the podcast.
Well,
pay attention. The tadpoles are talking, pay attention.
Yes.
So Gary Azaro, which, Gary, please, if I'm saying your name incorrectly, please let me know how to actually say it properly. But I think I'm saying it correctly. So, like I said, let me know. His is Secret of the Clown, or Secrets of the Clown.
What?
It's diabolically terrible, and it's the worst £2.99 I've ever spent in FOP.
I have no idea what that film is, so...
Okay, well, he's sent us the trailer, so we could have a listen to the... no, we won't be able to because of the, otherwise rights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you're on the Facebook page, he sent the trailer across, so just click on the link and have a little watch of that, because I don't think for copywriting and whatnot, I think it might be a little bit long for us to actually play it. But so try and avoid that one if you can. Mr. Bob Christian, I'm going to be unpopular with my choice. Catwoman. I think that DC could have really done so much with this movie franchise opportunity. It's like they weren't even trying. Let's just put this tribe out there. They'll watch anything. So Joanne has responded with abso-fucking-lutely, and I've responded with, Bob, in this group, you're 1,000% popular with that answer. I think you'll agree, won't you?
I mean, Bob has now ruined my day because the memories have started coming back from when I had to watch it. I'm going to have to lock myself in a padded room after this. But
Bob, look what you've done.
Yeah, look what you've done, Bob. Look upon what you have created and weep.
Right, Owen Edmonds has said, I'd like to send all of the Adam Sandler movies to the moon, just because they're shit. All of them.
I wouldn't say all of them, but I mean, I can think of a couple of films of his I like, but he is a very acquired taste. I liked The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one.
I didn't mind that, and he did make was it Uncut Jewels? I think was it called? That he did which is just him doing straight drama.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
It was a film that I really liked. There were rumours he could be up for an Oscar for that, but unfortunately it never happened. So, but I do know what you mean. His stuff's very Uncut Gems, sorry, it was called. But that was a very different, dark film he did a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So maybe he could have a look at that and he would change your view. But yeah, I do know what he means.
Yeah, I do for the most part. Yeah, because they're kind of samey as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and he does that weird voice.
Yeah, there's that as well. But I quite liked him in Grown Ups, but then he's not a main feature in that
right.
one. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind it when he's like not the main character. Okay?
No, I do, but yeah, I can't. Well, I mean, it's pretty sad. I can only think of two of his films I really like. So.
Fair enough, but regardless, we're not allowed to watch them anymore because they've been sent to the moon. So.
Yes, it is harsh, but yeah.
Right, so Joanne Alexander has said, Batman and Robin. I've never been beyond the first 20 minutes. So bad, it's shite. The only way I'm recommending we review this one, James, is if we're shit-faced.
Well, as I have started drinking again, and I did actually once say to Joanne, we do need to do some sort of review where we're both hammered. That might not be a bad idea. In fact, yeah, that could be, because I've just had a thought about things I could say. Yeah, maybe. Not a bad idea.
Yeah. I was going to say, with the both of you with your strong accents and with Gabrielle with her strong accent as well, I kind of wonder if a drunk version of all of you doing that might not be the best idea.
I think it'd be wonderful.
I don't know how people are going to be able to hear. I love the Irish accent, and I really do love it, girls. Don't worry. But, yeah, I do struggle sometimes to understand what they're saying.
Well, if we basically were all hammered, John and I are tanked trying to review something, the American audience would probably just be like, what? What?
Well, I think some of the British audience might be as well, to be honest.
That's true.
So.
That's possible.
Right, so David Cooper has said, I'd like anything with Mark Wahlberg in it. They're all the same. Ex-cop or ex-con, out for one last score, or to settle a score in memory of a slain partner or family member. Always set in fucking Boston. I've seen more realistic acting from a mannequin.
What? No.
Brilliant. Jamie Westwood says, Twilight. The whole franchise. Get in the sodding bin.
Good man.
Vampires don't sparkle. I even watched the first one to see what all the hype was about, and that's time of my life that I'll never get back. Plus, has anyone ever seen the CGI effects on the baby, in whichever one it is? Fuck me. I think Jamie's really passionate about this one. Fuck me. Better effects on Jason and the Argonauts.
I mean, firstly, I've only ever seen the first one, so I do feel his pain. The fact that he knows the baby is in one of them means that he must have delved into a few of them. So, Talk about self-abuse.
Well, he does say he's only watched the first one, but then maybe he's seen like a couple of trailers or something.
Yeah, sure, Jamie.
Yeah. We'll give him face value with that one.
We will.
He's only seen one and we've seen a couple of trailers. Serena Micklewright has said, anything with James Franco or Keira Knightley. Cats was turd. That never ended. Cats with, what's his name? James Corden.
Yeah.
I can't stand.
I've seen James Franco in good stuff, so... but hey, the people have spoken.
Yep, we can't backtrack on these things, James.
We can't.
I agree with Keira Knightley. She is kind of pretty much the same character throughout as well, isn't she?
I can't really think of the last Keira Knightley film I saw. I really can't.
To be honest, I think the last one that I saw with her in was Pirates of the Caribbean.
I've not seen them, so yeah, they're not my bag. So
fair enough. Fairy Snuff,
yep.
Or Furry Muff, as Joanne would say. Right, moving over to Twitter now. There's just a couple more. So, but still, thank you to everyone who answered, because it was really short notice, this one. Thank you for that. J Ray, who's usually attacking your hairstyle, James.
Go fuck yourself. Sorry, go fuck yourself. No, I say that with humour.
He knows. I know. He's that kind of person.
Yeah.
Okay, so J Ray, and his podcast is called Politics with Dummies.
Mm-hmm. Good podcast.
Okay, so his is Batman versus Superman. So it's kind of an attack on you there, James, a little bit. Sorry. Passion of the Christ.
Go on, sorry.
Did you hear Passion of the Christ or not?
Yeah, I heard that.
So Passion of the Christ and the prequels.
The prequels?
I've not seen the prequels, so I don't really know which one that one is, but, it can still go to the moon. That's fine. The Pirate Cats, which is also Owen. Have I already said all of the Adam Sandler movies? Because I'm serious.
Deadly serious.
Yeah. And another person called Sam, who's from the Invasion of the Remake podcast, which is very, very good podcast as well. So you should check that out. Although you don't listen to ours, so you probably won't.
Wait, we have a podcast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing right now that we're doing.
I just thought we recorded random stuff every week. I didn't know we did anything with
it. Or Sam has written, sorry. Yikes. Have you seen the stuff that we watch? And to that question, Sam, yes, because I listen on a weekly basis. Sometimes I'm a little bit behind, but I do always catch up. We'd say Hard Rock Zombies, A Night to Dismember can go. Oh, and Car 54, Where Are You? Question mark. Has to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if Where Are You is actually a film. I'm not sure if that one is, but yeah, I haven't heard of any of those, but I'm quite happy in that knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah, Car 54, Where Are You is quite an old, it's from, I think, a remake of an old TV series, and I've gathered it isn't very good.
Well, in that case, then they can all go into the bin. So thank you ever so much for everyone who took part in that. Next week or next time me and James are recording anyway, we'll think of something else that we can fly up to the moon and see.
We will.
Maybe songs or something, or we'll work it out anyway, and we'll let you know.
We'll pull it together somehow.
Yeah, we always do. So James, to wrap up this episode, did you want to have a story of the week?
Yeah, if I can find one. Dear God, right, I'm running with this one. So
go on then. He said, "Dear God," so it's going to be a juicy one. People, strap in.
So 80 alligator heads have been seized after a police search of a house in Birmingham. West Midlands Police said the raid took place at a property in Perry Bar on Thursday morning. The joint investigation involved officers from the National Wildlife Crime Unit and the Forces Wildlife Crime Officer Volunteers. A statement said we received information that the heads were being imported from abroad illegally and sold through eBay to buyers all around the world at a large profit to the seller. We carried out a joint investigation with the NWCU and believe the suspect has been illegally importing the head for some time, with regular sales being seen on eBay. The warrant was conducted under the Control of Trade of Endangered Species Act, and a 40-year-old man has been voluntarily interviewed. And there's this wonderful picture of alligator heads, which is frankly, can you imagine walking into a room and seeing all those? Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. It definitely is creepy because there was a hotel that I used to work at. It was a real countrified kind of hotel, but it was also child friendly. But they kind of decor wise, they kind of kept within the, like having skins on the walls and stuff like that, like leopard skins, not human skins.
Yeah. That sounds like an interesting hotel. Human skins all over the wall.
Yeah, for a child-friendly hotel, yeah. But we did have this little crocodile statue. It was really, really tiny, so it was probably, I don't know. Anyway, it was small. And this was when they had smoking allowed in the hotel. So one evening, I was working, and like the evening shift, you work until 11 o'clock. I was walking through the lounges, and I noticed, because this crocodile had its mouth open, that somebody had put a cigarette in it.
At least it's shown a good sense of humour.
Yeah, it was so funny. It really was. But yeah, that they had a lot of like heads and stuff like that, I personally didn't like it, but yeah. But no, I personally, going back to the actual story, so I kind of drifted us off there, but I don't think I'd ever want to buy a crocodile head.
Yeah, it wouldn't particularly work for me, I don't think, so.
No.
Not my sort of thing.
No. And it's like, who's the poor bastard that has to keep catching and cutting, killing the crocodiles?
Somebody who's clearly tough.
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee's out there doing it, is he?
Definitely.
But I did see that story, actually, and I kind of was like, oh, maybe. So I'm glad that you picked that one.
Good.
The one that I picked this week, like I said, it's a little bit on a cutesy one. So, CCTV captures guard dog hilariously failing test by napping during fake arm raid.
I've seen this.
Yeah. Thai police carried out a training exercise for staff at a jewellery store whose owner has a large husky as protection. But Lucky, the dog, failed with flying colours after napping during the fake raid.
Shocking.
And there's a video as well, which is just adorable. A jewellery store owner's video has gone viral after his husky guard dog continued to nap when a fake arm robbery training exercise was held at the shop. Police visited, I'm not going to say the store because it's very Thailandish, but they visited the store anyway in Thailand to train staff on how to react if they were held at gunpoint and forced to give up the jewels. Not the Queen's jewels, James,
No.
It's all right.
Yep.
CCTV footage shows Lucky the dog sleeping in front of the shop counter as a fake armed robber enters, pointing a gun at staff and making demands. Despite the commotion and the threats being made to her owner, Lucky the dog doesn't move a single muscle and continues
Lucky.
to sleep as her owner is forced to hand over a bag of cash before the criminals walk out of the store unchallenged.
Terrible.
Oh, this is so cute. It's so funny as well, though. The owner can be seen glancing at the dog in hope that she might attack the bandit or bark to raise the alarm, but gets nothing in return. It's fair to say Lucky failed the test, and the hilarious video was uploaded to Facebook, where it has racked up more than 1 million views.
Yeah, I think Lucky's going to be unemployed fairly soon.
Yeah, Lucky's going to be unlucky soon.
As long as he doesn't end up like Old Yeller and Lucky's taken outside for the final time.
Oh, I hope not. I love Huskies, so I hope not. But Lucky may have a good excuse, as her owner told Board Panda, which I guess is a newspaper or somewhere, this was the Thai police training of what it would be like if a thief came into my store and stole all the jewellery. The armed robber in the video is a policeman that my dog Lucky already knew.
Yeah.
So that's probably why then. Maybe that's why she did nothing. I found it very funny to see that she didn't even try doing anything and continued to sleep.
Terrible but amusing.
Yeah, they have been left blown away by the viral success of the clip and the interest in Lucky, and the video racked up plenty of comments from viewers who joked the robber was fortunate that Lucky knew it was only a training exercise. Otherwise, it would have been a very different story.
Would have been a bloodbath.
Yeah, definitely. Can we just also give it up to the Mirror for actually finishing a story there as well?
Yeah. A hell of a lot better than the Metro.
Yeah.
Who just get bored part way through and go, oh, balls to it. Just, yeah, send it in, it'll be fine. Publish it, not a problem.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I think, that is a lovely way to end the episode. So it was a comical story of a beautiful husky called Lucky, who was quite unlucky that day.
Yeah. Lovely doggy. Crap security.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Well, in that case, James, I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I feel we can never talk enough Codswallop. And I've been James.
You're probably right there. We will continue on, as always.
Damn right we will.